is up, you sexy ass motherfuckers? Welcome back to yet another Total War League Siege battle. This is going to be part 2 of the Kosher E tiers versus the Romans, the R Roman team. This is going to be really, really good. This battle was absolutely insane. I think this one definitely knocked me off my seat during the live stream, and I was screaming the entire time. I really enjoyed watching this battle, guys. If you guys like this video at all during this time, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It helps me out tremendously. Lets me know that my content isn't complete shite and really gives me the motivation to continue bringing out content for you guys. And if you guys are feeling extra generous, make sure to hit that like button. Again, just gives me more motivation to be able to continue to bring out that sexy ass content for you guys. But yes, this battle was live streamed on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/CAPN 4IS. So make sure you guys check that out as well. I'd love to be able to see you sexy ass motherfuckers there. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at the composition. So this time, we've got... Oh no, why can't I remember what these guys' name are with the young axes? Chimera, I think that's their name. There we go. God, I cannot remember names to save my life this season. Holy smokes. We've got Chimera and Epirus versus Saba and Aravachi over here. Looking over at Epirus's army comp, we've got Illyrian levies, mercenary Samnite warriors, plenty of Illyrian levies, Theros spears, and Royal Paltas. Very powerful army. Over on Chimera's side, we've got Chimerian Noble Infantry, a Ballista, those really powerful heavy archers, and of course you can't forget the Cretan archers as well, a very powerful archer force during this battle. Plenty of Chimerian Noble Infantry, and then we've got young axes, plenty of young axes to be able to push up all of these troops as well. We can't quite see Saba's army comp yet, but we can see that Saba is doing a little cheeky-breaky sally out over here with some cavalry over here with some cataphracts, so we'll definitely gonna be able to see exactly how that turns out. And I definitely saw a unit of Aravachi there for just a second. Over here we've got Saba up on the walls with some desert levy, just trying to waste all of these towers' ammo to make sure that they don't get free kills on some more of their more elite troops, and just there to be able to kind of give a little cock tease for Epirus here. The young axes are going to temporarily abandon these tortoises while the rest of their army kind of begins to make ground inside of the settlement. They have broken the gate. The young axes have broken the gate with their battering ram. They've moved up these towers to try and stop this tower over here from being able to fire into them, but they do still have some gaps here, so they're still going to be able to get some shots into them. The Desert Levy are going to quickly get off of the wall. They don't want to give them free kills with those torts, so they're going to get the hell out of dodge, get the hell off of that wall. They may be cheap troops, but you never want to waste any troops to something that's free. Yep, but now we've got plenty of tortoises breaking a huge, ginormous gap inside of this wall, which is going to be absolutely beautiful to see. Oh my goodness, both these quarters are going to break down too. Now there's just this one section left with the tortoise going in now. The reason that he waited is if you send him in, there we go, now we can kind of see the army, but if you send all three of these in at the same time, then one of the tortoises usually has a habit of glitching out. So we waited until those two corners were broken so we can come in and open up the gap even more. Now that we can see the armies here, or at least Saba's army, we'll go ahead and look at the army composition. So we've got Sabian swordsmen wholly in the front line with Desert Levy close in front to be able to take any sort of Pila and or take the initial charge out of the situation here. Plenty of Sabian swordsmen. We've got slingers, 4 units of slingers in here as well, and then I know we've got, yep, there we go, Saba's specialty, mercenary mass gat marauders. Love to see it. Very powerful units. Can definitely get get a lot of kills. We've also got a ballista over here getting just absolutely racked by the artillery over here. One of the balls of justice just instantly smacked right into this scorpion, this little tiny scorpion here, just demolished it. Poor scorpion. Over here we've got Saba quickly moving up their camel cataphracts, circling around their opponents, circling around the attackers, just looking for a great opportunity to be able to move in and potentially get some archer kills, flanking charges, or anything else that might potentially be able to help them during this battle. The attackers are kind of taking their time a little bit here. Now that they've broken down the walls, they're going to go ahead and automatically send in some Chimerian noble infantry, some infantry that can is very heavily armored, with 80 armor, really good defensive bonuses too. So a good infantry to send in, to take some initial archer fire, because they'll be able to take more fire than other units. So they're going to go ahead and send in their Chimerian nobles, attempt to neutralize this gate to stop it from firing upon them, and potentially even kind of begin this battle as well. Saw a little bit of archer movement over there by Aravachi. We've got some Scrutari by the Aravachi player, but other than that, we can't quite see the rest of their army yet, so we'll see where it is, because I'm kind of surprised we can't see it. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see where it is. There we go. Now we've got some more forces over here. Some Iberian swordsmen, Balearic slingers, spreading up, preparing themselves to be able to start defending this flank. But they've also moved up some young axes. The Chimerian player has moved up some young axes to be able to take control of these turrets and start slowly but surely battering holes in these walls to be able to try and negate Aravachi's defense here in the one-line defense and make them spread out a little bit more. Over here, we've got some Illyrian levies here, fresh, no damage taken as of yet, ready to be able to move into the fray. It looks like we've got some Desert Levy and the Sabian swordsmen behind that have taken a little bit of damage from this artillery piece over here. The artillery piece having 57 kills so far, definitely not bad at all. And we've got the Iberian swordsmen close up front to be able to start peppering their opponents and getting some initial damage in. So always good to see. See if these Illyrian levies actually fire at the desert levies as well. I don't know if they're quite close enough, but I love to see me some javelin fire. And here we go, the first melee engagement fought by some Iberian swordsmen and Illyrian levies. The Iberian swordsmen are a better unit than the Illyrian levies, so on a 1v versus 1, they should be able to win this battle. And especially now that their unit has kind of surrounded these Illyrian levies as well, and they're going to get a slight flanking bonus from this. They should be able to win this, but we've got some Chimerian noble infantry quickly charging into the Iberian swords, trying to support the Illyrian levies so the Illyrian levies can save their ammunition, and then they're going to go ahead and move in and take that position. But we've got another unit of Iberian swordsmen quickly rushing up to be able to engage with these Chimerian nobles and get a little bit of cycle charging going in as well. Now we've got Illyrian levies quickly charging into the desert levies. The Illyrian levies are actually more expensive and more powerful than the desert levy, by quite a lot. So even though the Illyrian levies were weakened by those Iberian swords, they should be able, to break these Desert Levy really quickly. I mean, these Desert Levy are already at 84. They're taking some flanking fire from these Illyrian levies, so they're not too happy about that. They're going to stop breaking, try to do a little bit more damage to these Illyrian levies as well. And just try to do as much damage as they possibly can. Over here, we do have some breach points created by these young axes over here, by the Chimerian forces. They're going to go ahead and move up all of the turrets that they possibly can and just break holes all over this wall to be able to attempt to try and force these defenders into kind of fully retreating. Over here, Saba has kind of surrounded the attacking forces here with their Marib camel cataphracts and their Sabian camel cataphracts as well. Their general's out here, so they got to be careful. If they lose that general, that morale hit is going to be rough. Desert Levy having 31 kills, fighting against these Illyrian levies. Oh, for a second, are these Illyrian levies breaking? Oh, wow, these Illyrian levies are actually breaking, too. And now we got the Sabian swordsmen quickly firing into the mercenary Samnite warriors. The Illyrian levies trying to get as many kills with their javelin capabilities as they possibly can as well. The Chimerian nobles, again, still trying to neutralize this tower. They got a little distracted there by the Iberian swordsmen, which it looks like they have kind of retreated here, knowing that they couldn't continue that fight without losing a lot of men. So they're going to go ahead and retreat from this position, and go ahead and let them continue to neutralize these towers. But the towers are going to go ahead and get a couple of decent kills. I mean, for a free unit, you really can't complain. We got some cycling of the mercenary Samnite warriors and Chimerian noble infantry onto the front line. Sabian swordsmen holding valiantly, fighting against a much more elite unit, much more elite army over here. So they gotta... But they do have some more Sabian swordsmen close behind to be able to support them and continue to hold the lines, which is always good. We've got even more Illyrian levies, one that's slightly depleted and one that's completely fresh, moving up and getting ready to be able to charge into the fray and continue that cycle charging, try to get as much of a charge bonus as they possibly can. And now we've got some Iberian swordsmen and Scrutari over here getting ready to be able to I was gonna say getting ready to be able to hold this flank, but they are marching outside of the walls. We've got 3 units from Aravachi marching outside of the walls. They see that this side from our from Chimera is a little bit weakened, so they're moving outside of the walls, looking for an opportunity to be able to truly start getting some kills. Chimera is gonna go ahead and move up their archers, plenty of archers to be able to get some fire on these lightly armored troops. We've got some Balsakith, no, Balearic Slingers moving out as well as a lot more troops of Scrutari. So the defenders are going to go ahead and decide to just march the fuck outside of these walls here real quick and take the fight to their opponents. They do not want to fight inside of the walls. They do not want their opponents to even begin to set foot inside of their walls. So they are going to go ahead and march outside and face them man to man, front to front, with not hiding behind any walls, and it's beautiful to see. We've got Saba. Saba's got to be careful. He's setting up his troops right in front of some of these Theros spears, so these Camel Cataphracts are about to take a beating from these Theros spears unless they quickly retreat. Please run, please run, please run, please go, Saba, run! No, we got spears already beginning to get thrown into them. No, 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 no. The Camel Cataphracts. A good thing the spears aren't shooting into the general right now, but yeah, those Camel Cataphracts are taking shots, but thankfully, they do move after taking a few shots here, and they waste a little bit more of their ammo as well, so that's beautiful to see. Aravachi is going to go ahead and move in. Their Iberian swordsmen are taking a lot of shoosting from those archers, taking a lot of damage here. But those archers are just kind of focusing down one unit, and they're sending them in waves. We've got Scrutari and Iberian swordsmen moving up first. They're shooting at the Iberian swords, which is always good because that is going to be their cheaper unit. So as long as they're shooting at their more cheaper units, but now they're focused on the Scrutari, which are very good units as well. But as long as they're focusing on kind of some of the cheaper units, that could be very good for Aravachi. But yes, Aravachi is going to go ahead and charge into these young axes with the Scrutari, try to break these young axes so that way they can have a nice little breaking point to be able to charge into these archers as well. Saba trying to find a really good position to be able to get in there and start getting some kills on these archers, but Epirus is also sending over some Royal Peltas, a lot of reinforcements to be able to help their ally, while in the center, Saba's kind of able to just purely focus down this central area, focus down all these mercenary Samurai warriors, Chimerian nobles, and other troops, while the attackers are starting to break over here. 2 units of young axes breaking against the might of the Scrutari, 3 units of great axes. We've even got the general, the Chimerian noble infantry general moved in. We've got 2 units of Camel Cataphracts that just charge into the Royal Peltas, into their flank, getting a little bit of kills there. Great move by Saba. They're going to go ahead and get a charge onto those guys, try to keep them from firing into their allies, and just try to get as many kills as they possibly can. They are taking a lot of archer fire, but at least they're moving that archer fire away from their lightly armored allies as well. We've got a whole bunch of troops just quickly rushing over Chimerian noble infantry, trying to plug the gap. We've got a huge gap right here. Young axes over here trying to hold valiantly, but they are beginning to break as well. We've got Chimerian noble infantry holding the flank, but Aravachi is utilizing this gap to their advantage to really push in and cause chaos among the attacking forces. Young Axes, they're starting to come back, but with 12 kills, but they are fighting against the Scrutari, multiple units of Scrutari, so they got to be careful about that. We've got Camel Cataphracts seeing a gap in the line, seeing an opportunity to be able to potentially get some kills on these archers. They got to move in, they got to move in. Go, 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 Cataphracts, go, Cataphracts, go, Cataphracts, go, go, go. They're charging so slowly. I know they're tired, but they got to go. No, don't stop, don't stop, keep going. Keep going, General. No, don't fall back. It's not worth it. You already committed so much. You could have gotten so many kills on these archers. No. Now the camels are going to take so many losses because they're retreating. I think they were way too indecisive in that one. They should have just moved in, taken the fight, gone through the general, and gotten all of those archers, because those archers were free reign for them. That could have been huge. I mean, at least they still have their cataphracts alive, but they've taken a lot of damage, but there is still good opportunity there. Aravachi is starting to break. We've got Iberian swordsmen with 31 kills. They're starting to break with a couple of units, but they do have some Balearic slingers out here being able to support their infantry. We've got Break and Scrutari coming back from the fight, charging into the Royal Peltas and Chimerian nobles. But yeah, this is absolutely hectic, guys. We've got Scrutari deep in enemy lines, fighting against the Chimerian nobles and the Royal Peltas. I mean, they've gotten through a lot of their cheaper units. They've got their general completely surrounded by units with 2 units of Scrutari here. Saba's going ahead and moving in. I almost completely missed it. Saba's actually charging in with it, the rest of his cataphracts, moving into these archers, trying to silence them from good, getting a bunch of kills on those archers, which is absolutely beautiful to see. Yep, if they can break those archers, that would be amazing. But yes, they're going to continue to charge into the settlement, try to get a little bit of flanking charges, try to get into these archers inside of here as well, breaking as many archers as they can to be able to support their ally. Great move by Saba, really distracting these archers, getting a lot of kills on these archers, and keeping them from being able to fire on their ally to allow their ally to do as much damage as possible. We have so many units out here. This has almost become a land battle. The Balearic Slingers are about to get charged by some Theros spears, but we've got Painted Warriors quickly falling back to be able to charge into the Theros spears to try to stop them from being able to charge into the Balearic Slingers. They're going to stop the Theros spears in their tracks. Hopefully these Balearic Slingers can quickly turn around and start shooting at these Theros spears, break them quickly so that way they can get this unit of Painted Warriors back in, and the Balearic Slingers continue to fire into get those Balearic Slingers to continue to fire into those archers as well. It looks like, yep, so it looks like Saba's Cav did break, but not without doing a decent amount of damage as well. I'm trying to see if I can see a horse anywhere so I can see some kills, but I'm not seeing any Cav. I'm not seeing any horses anywhere, so we'll just have to look at the kills whenever this battle is over. But yes, Aravachi over here breaking, but not without doing a lot of damage to these noble infantry. They've got a lot of troops breaking. Aravachi's going to go ahead and choose to retreat here with their Painted Warriors and their Balearic Slingers. They're going to get the hell out of dodge. They weren't quite able to break that noble infantry, that Chimerian general. I don't know if he did fall or not, but I know that his unit is still there. Scutari with 34 kills, but they were able to do a lot of damage if they can successfully break that general. But looking inside, I mean, even though they broke out here, they have completely broken every single one of the troops inside of the settlement here. We've got the noble fighters from Aravachi in here with 294 kills, fighting against the Chimerian noble infantry with their mercenary mascot marauders, brothers in arms. We've got Saba moving up more mercenary mascot marauders, actually retaking this entire kind of choke point here, starting to begin to kind of reform here, retaking the choke point and preparing for the inner defense. Great job by Aravachi. Even if they didn't, I mean, they've done a lot of damage to these troops. Even if they didn't fully take out the army that was out here, they were able to do a lot of damage, distract them a lot, take out a lot of archers, completely take out the forces that were in here. I mean, overall, it was fantastic. And Saba still got some decent amount of troops in here as well. Mascot Marauders, Sabian Swordsmen, more mascots, Sabian. We've still got the general from Aravachi, 119 men remaining, 352 kills, charging into the Epirus general, trying to go in and be able to get as many kills as possible. Still fresh, probably use their second win ability here, but yeah, they're gonna go ahead and try to do as much damage against this general as possible, and Saba isn't going to let them take all of the glory for themselves, and they're going to quickly charge in and support them as well. I don't know if they were able to kill this noble infantry. They were firing at them with their Balearic Slingers. I don't know if these Balearic Slingers are out of ammo. I don't think they are. I think they just accidentally glitched out and moved out on their own accord. We've got the Painted Warriors back in the fray, 159 kills, fighting against the Chimerian noble infantry. We've got the Balearic Slingers out here kind of harassing their opponents, doing as much damage as they possibly can. Epirus and Chimera, actually primarily Epirus right here. I mean, it's all Epirus right here. While Chimera is trying to use the remnants of their forces to screen and get Aravachi off of their ass, we've got Saba and Aravachi trying to do as much damage against these Theros spears, against this Epirus general as they possibly can. If they could break this Epirus general, that would be a huge morale loss for the attacking forces. The Epirus general is popping battle rhythm on themselves to be able to do as much damage as possible, but will that be enough to keep them from falling? I mean, Saba's got these great mercenary mascot marauders in here doing a lot of damage. Aravachi still having their noble fighters, 406 kills. I mean, inside of here, they're going to go ahead and try to start retreating because they're taking a lot of fire, but I almost would have said just leave them in at this point. They've already taken so much damage. They're already in too deep, and they're gonna, now they're gonna melt like butter. They are taking just so much damage. 20 men left, 16 men left. I mean, if their generals survive that, I will be very, very surprised. But yep, it looks like the Balearic Slingers, one of them's going back in to be able to support their troops. We've got a unit of Scrutari keeping this unit of Chimerian noble infantry from being able to push in. We've got another unit of Painted Warriors going in, trying to get a little bit of a flank in. But yeah, Saba has kind of fallen back a little bit here. We've got some mercenary mascot marauders fighting against Royal Peltas #1 and Royal Peltas #2 and Chimerian nobles going in to be able to flank these troops. We've got the mercenary mascot marauders going in Again, still trying to do as much damage against these troops as they can. They break the Illyrian levies that were trying to defend their general, but they're going to continue to charge out against this general. Even though they're breaking, they're going to go out and just try to kill this general, because if they can kill the Epirus general and break that morale, then that's going to be huge. Epirus over here actually breaking 2 units of Royal Peltas, breaking against the might of Saba, and Saba still has 2 fresh units of Mercenary Mascat Marauders here on the front line, as well as some other units in the back. And we've still got the Scorpion over here that hasn't seen any action yet, and another unit of Mercenary Mascat Marauders ready to move into the fray. We've got Painted Warriors, these Painted Warriors that have been fighting so valiantly, kind of over here trying to do as much damage as they possibly can, finally breaking, but again, they were able to do a lot of damage. The Iberian Slingers, or I'm sorry, the Balearic Slingers are actually in the fight with these nobles as well. Let me go ahead and get that sexy screenshot. No, I don't want the walls. There we go. Iberian Slingers, with support of Scrutari, fighting against these Cimmerian Noble infantry, really just trying to do as much damage as they can, and if at all possible, break them. They have successfully retaken this gate because, funnily enough, that Desert Levy that we saw at the beginning is still up there, so they retook the gate, so now the gate is actually firing into their opponents here. Epirus, with 58 men remaining, the Mercenary Mascot Marauders with how many kills? 154, primarily fighting against a lot of elite troops during this battle, still fighting against the general. We've got a unit of Cimmerian Noble Infantry completely surrounded by Saba's surrounded? I really can't tell. This is insane, the trees and stuff. Saba's got them surrounded, but then they've got another unit that was surrounding Saba, which just broke, so now they're just fighting against the one unit. I don't even know. This is insane, though. Trying to fight against this Cimmerian Noble Infantry, having them surrounded, trying to do as much damage as possible. Saba being very aggressive, moving up their Mercenary Mascot Marauders to fight against these Royal Peltas and break them. Chimera finally breaking the Scrutari over here, but at what cost? They've got a couple of units of Cimmerian Noble Infantry and Young Axes still alive, but they are taking heavy fire from the towers, heavy fire from these Balearic Slingers, just heavy fire in general, so they're going to be taking a lot of heavy losses. We've got the Epirus General with 54 men left, chasing down these Mercenary Mascot Marauders with the support of their archers, just trying to keep them from being able to retreat too far back. Epirus really trying to do whatever they can to be able to break these Mascot Marauders and take victory for their troops. It's a really close battle, guys. Both sides running dangerously low on troops. Both sides really relying on a lot of ranged features here, even with the lack of archers on the defenders team. I mean, bringing 8 units of slingers, no archers at all, is amazing. And with how well they're doing, it's just truly incredible. You love to see it. Epirus' general is breaking with 34 men remaining. I'm not sure if he was dead at this point at all, but he is breaking against the might of the Mercenary Mascot Marauders. Now we've got slingers firing frantically into these archers, trying to keep them from being able to continue to fire into their troops, trying to break them as quickly as possible. Cimmerian Noble Archers, or Cimmerian Heavy Archers, which are out of ammo, quickly trying to move up and utilize this flank, so that way they can maybe push through, and then get over to the victory point. But we've got a unit of Mercenary Mascot Marauders taking the fight to them, quickly trying to break them so that way they can't move in. I did hear some Scorpion. Now the Scorpions are actually beginning to fire as well. I believe the Scorpions are finally firing into the Archers after all of this time. So really just trying to do what they can to break these Archers. We've got this Cimmerian Heavy Archer that's out of ammo, being just massacred by these Mercenary Mascot Marauders, and the firepower of all of the Slinger forces from the defending forces finally breaking against the Mercenary Mascot Marauders. Chimera is going to go ahead and retreat their archers out of the settlement, try to get the defenders to be able to chase them, because if they can get them out inside of a range engagement, then they might be able to continue to, or might be able to actually take victory on this one. We've got the Chimerian General actually breaking. We've got plenty of slingers starting to fire into these heavy archers. The heavy archers are firing everything that they have into the Mercenary Mascot Marauders, but they are going to go ahead and retreat back into the settlement where they have the advantage. We've got 2 units of Chimerian Heavy Archers beginning to break. This unit is out of ammo. This unit is fighting valiantly, trying to do as much damage as they can, but it looks like army losses have hit the attackers, and the defenders have won this by the skin of their teeth. An absolutely insane battle, especially with that sally out. It was such a fun one. I was cheering. I was like, yes, let's go! This was such a good battle. I loved to watch it. Guys, again, you're missing out if you're not following the Twitch channel. We are watching as many Total War League, covering as many Total War League battles as we possibly can on the Twitch channel currently. So if you guys want to see our reaction live and see my sexy face, then make sure you guys go and follow my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/C8PN4IS. So let's go ahead and end the replay and look at these kills here. Holy shit. We've got Rabbi War Machine and Tommy versus Kors, Kors and Rambo Tom. Let's see. It looks like Kors took the lead in kills in this battle, with Rambo Tom being very, very close in second. Looking at Rabbi War Machine and Kors, War Machine getting some great kills on those archers: 267, 177, 189, 112, 129 on their general, and then on all of their Chimerian Noble Infantry, we got 126, 131, 107, 147, 184, and then those young axes doing absolutely nothing, which is what they're meant to do. Looking at the Sally out champion so far of this league, Kors, this was an insane battle. Can't believe that he sallied out like that, and I can't believe that it worked so well. I was just mind blown during this entire battle. We've got his general getting 408 kills, his slingers 173, 112. We got painted warriors 191, 195, 190, and then the rest of his troops doing a good job as well. Looking at the last two players, Tommy and Rambo. Tommy playing as Epirus, 196 kills on his general, 141 on one of his archers. The Illyrian Levy is not doing bad for how cheap they are either. Sand Knight's doing okay, 107 there. And then the Royal Peltas, 156, 118, 167. Therasphere's getting 135. Last but certainly not least, Saba, the mighty settlement defender, the man who with which held the walls, made his men the walls themselves, placed some mortar on them, and plugged that gap. 113 kills, 180 kills, 159, 210, 145, 132, 131, 142, 102, and 119. Guys, thank you guys so much again for watching this video. I really do appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you sexy ass motherfuckers in the next one. Peace.